What's up, guys? I picked up this 03 RSX Type S from my coworker. He got hit in a pretty good accident, so the car got totaled out. But he gave it to me for a pretty good price. It's got a running and driving motor and transmission, K20a2. Went ahead and did a compression test. Pretty much like 200 each cylinder. It's like 205. They're all pretty consistent. But yeah, today I'm gonna try to be pulling the motor out. Went ahead and already yesterday I got the radiator and the AC condenser and the T bracket that goes here out. The whole metal crash bar bolts up here, goes across. It was all smashed in on this side, so that helped to get a lot more clearance. Additionally, this motor mount's already broken, as you can see. So the engine's kind of just hanging on the subframe. I think the subframe got pushed back at the point of impact over there, as you can see. And you can take a look at the motor mount. Is completely disconnected. It's got a Bluetooth motor mount. And then the original power steering pump, or reservoir, sorry, not the pump, but the reservoir was busted, but I did have a spare. So I threw that on there so I didn't have to pull the serpentine belt off. So I wanted the alternator to still run, just check, make sure everything worked. Ground strap for the negative terminal flipped off, so I went ahead and there's this harness that goes onto the body, I guess, like under where the fuse box goes, and I just held it with an alligator clip to ground it. But yeah, it still runs and drives. I also did already go ahead and pull the exhaust off, aside from the exhaust manifold on the back. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm going to be listing that for sale just to recoup some money. But yeah, I'm hoping to get this motor pulled today. First thing I'm going to do is start with the axles. Hopefully they come off. Peep the cat. But yeah, we'll just get into it. I'm going to go and see if it comes off. With the Type S's, these are 36 millimeter axle nuts. With my base, it's a 32. Let's see if it fits. All right, go ahead and try. All right, that came off pretty good. If you guys are wondering, this is a clutch impact. It's kind of like the bigger Milwaukee ones almost. I think my dad got this for like, I want to say like 100 something bucks at Northern Tool on sale. And these are actually pretty good. They help with crank bolts, anything super tight that you don't want to deal with. You just throw this fucker on there and it works. You're going to start with the passenger side as well. That one struggled a little bit more, but you can see the nuts kind of fugly anyways. So yeah. Since I got that done, I think I can go ahead and jack the car up. My plan is to probably undo the front two bolts and nuts that hold the strut onto the knuckle so I can pull it forward. Go ahead and maybe, I don't know if I need to do the brakes, maybe pull the caliper off so I don't stress the hose out. Go ahead and get the axles pulled. So then that part's done. There should be 4 mounts total. So you have this one, which is already taken care of. This front one, there's gonna be a transmission one down here by the intake, as you can see. And then there's also gonna be one down here on this bracket. Goes, oh shit, it won't fuck this. It goes there. And they have 314 millimeters on the bottom side. I went ahead and checked it yesterday and one of them is actually missing, so we've only gotta get 2. And this motor should pretty much just pull straight up. I think what I'm gonna do is you can disconnect the engine harness here on this back side of the motor, and I'll probably just pull the ECU wiring from the firewall, disconnect from the ECU and just pull it from the firewall and leave all the sensors plugged in so I can just pull the harness with everything. And the AC lines have already been taken care of because during the accident all the Freon leaked out as well as the coolant, so I don't have to worry about that. Engine oil's still okay, as you can see. So yeah, I'm just gonna hopefully get this thing pulled out today. I'm aiming for like 3 to 4 hours tops. It shouldn't be too terrible, I'm hoping, but we'll just have to see how it goes. Looking in the interior of the car, minus all the junk that I put in here, this is my old shifter box that I had in there. If you guys ever buy this Bull Boost shifter arm off of eBay, just know that I had issues with the threads getting stuck, so I ended up using an angle grinder to like smear it off. But aside from that, it worked pretty good for about 1.5 years. This one had a acuity box, equity, whatever the hell you want to call it. It had a 2A, so I went ahead and threw it in my car. But I think I might end up selling it. It's got a radio. Seats were reupholstered. They're actually pretty nice. So I'm gonna see about going ahead and take a look at the ECU and going and unplugging the connectors. All right, so to access the ECU, got these two clips out. The factory ones are actually a different style, but it's fine. There's 1, 2, 3. This tab slides into that white piece right there to hold it up. And then here's your ECU connections. You've just got 3 main ones. We got 1. Damn, bitch. This one. And it's a something wire for sub. I'll set this phone down and pull these two out together. All right, after setting the phone down, I got it pretty good. They're just these push tabs, locking tabs. So just grab it here and here, and just pull straight out. You should be good. And these use 10 mils to bolt it down. I think it's just 2, maybe 3. We'll see. No, I think it's just 2. I don't know. I'll find out. And then the ECU is pretty much ready. And this harness, I think the engine harness can just get pulled out. Maybe we'll see. It's been a while since I've done this, so. All right, so I got the ECU out. It ended up being 3 bolts. This is how it should look. Your part number or model number, whatever, serial number should vary. These should be the 3 main harnesses. So this one goes the big one, and these 2 plug into your ECU. And that feels like that's pretty loose, so I'm pretty sure that's all we need to do. As far as the wiring harness, now as far as getting it pulled out, I've got these two security clips right here pulled, and then there's like a little grommet there, as you can see. You just work it with your hands. It should come out pretty easily. All right, guys, I got that pulled out fairly easily. Just so you know, you pull that grommet off, then you've got this white piece. This helps lock it into place. You can't pull this out without pulling this too. So there's basically 4 tabs every 90 degrees. So do like this, and then use your other 2 fingers to squeeze the other one and just pull forward, and you'll feel it come out. And it's pretty easy, actually. Yeah, I'm just kind of recouping because it's been a while since I pulled one of these motors. It's been like a year, so yeah. Anyways, we'll get on to something else. I'm thinking of doing probably just remove the intake, make it super simple. Go ahead and hit these vacuum lines. So this runs from your intake manifold. I'm pretty sure this brings you pressure for your brake booster, if I'm not mistaken. So I'll probably just disconnect it from here and pull this whole, where they've got the evap and all that together. Just pull it with the motor. Yeah, we'll go from there. Probably do the shift cables as well. Just go ahead and disconnect them off the transmission, and I can leave it on the chassis. And axle wise, get the axles out, get this mount out, and for the transmission, that should be pretty much it. And the slave cylinder too, I'll have to disconnect that, but that shouldn't be too terrible. All right, guys, I went ahead and pulled off the charge harness. So what you really want to look for is mainly in this area. So you've got, let's see, 10 millimeter for the alternator. There'll be a plug that goes in here, knock sensor. This was a 13 mil for me. It may vary for you, maybe 12 or 13 or 14, I don't know. For your starter, this will be a spade connector, so just pull on it, yank it out, and you'll follow it along up here. And then there'll be like a clip holder like here, like for the engine harness. And then go ahead and pop your fuse box off. You've got 2 8 millimeters. It's got Phillips heads too, but given the age of the car, just use 8 millimeters, so you don't want to strip that. And then it should just come right out, as you can see. Got mine out. I'm gonna go ahead and start on working on the disconnecting the shift cables. Links just here, since I'm already here. They use cotter pins, as you can see. They're little tiny ones. You can actually bend them with your fingers if you need to. And these little like horseshoe style clips, they're almost like brake hose lines. You can come from here, just pry up, or like I do from the side like this. Just wiggle the tip like that, and if you rock it back and forth, it'll make its way out. So as you can see, I've got it worked up, and you kind of just pry up. Oh, there we go. Like this. Just work it steady. It'll pop out, and you can go the other direction if you need to, or like this. And also, worst case, you just grab pliers and yank it up, and it'll come off. All right, guys. So I got those off. Pretty much, once they're loose, you just push them this way, and that locking tab will be free. Evidently, whoever did the K20a2 master cylinder, and they had like their own braided line. They left the hard line in here still, so it's kind of looped around here, but I'll figure that out in a bit. And essentially, for anyone who wants to know, this is how you check if your transmission is in neutral. See how it moves pretty freely. So if you push down, that goes to the left. So this should be first, second, and then let up. And see it's in a neutral state now. So then third, fourth, and we'll pull up, fifth, sixth, and then if you pull up even more, here, see the difference. So here's 5 and 6, and then here's reverse, and you can hear the difference. Like I'll engage 6, all right, and then here's reverse. It's a very distinct clunk, so you can tell what gear you're in. So pro tip for anyone who wanted to know. All right, guys, so I've since moved onto the driver's side. I went in and took the wheel off. This is just a quick overcap for if nobody has done this or doesn't have any experience. So this is your wheel speed sensor. This is a 10 millimeter. You want to remove it. It's going to be on this side of your knuckle right here. As you can see, it's measuring electromagnetic pulses on this axle to detect the speed. This will be a 19, and there will be a nut on this side, which is a 22. You want to remove both of these nuts and bolts because we're wanting to pull a knuckle forward to us so that we can get the axle out. And your brake caliper bolts, these are 12 millimeters. We shouldn't have to really take the caliper bracket off. And for Type S, this is 36 mil for the axle nut, and base should be 32 millimeter if I remember correctly. So I'm gonna get this disassembled, and I'll do an after shot of how everything is coming apart. All right, guys, so I got the knuckle loose. So this is a factory style bolt. This is an aftermarket one. As you can see, this one's longer, and it's got these, it's knurled to keep it held into the knuckle, which was really annoying. So if you run into this, what I did was I put this nut back on to protect the threads, put the 24 millimeter socket, which was what this was. It's actually bigger than the factory, and I just banged the shit out of it with a hammer, and it eventually came out. But yeah, so once you get it loose and ready to pull, just pull down on your knuckle. Which of course this one's fucking stuck. Let me grab something. This might work. Never mind. I got my screwdriver. All right, there we go. That was easy. So go ahead and unscrew this nut. And typically, like, it's got this little dimple here you can use to punch it out. But this one's coming straight out with my thumb. As you can see, it's poking through. And then when you get ready to pull it out, essentially put your weight down on the steering knuckle like this. You can see I'm loading the axle. And as you load the axle, use your other hand to pull this out. You can kind of pivot it because it's a CV axle, so it'll sway. So I'd say if I steer this to the left and I push it down, then I'll take the axle and go this way, and I wanna swing it out like that, if that makes sense. It's kind of hard for me to demonstrate it because I don't have nobody recording me. This is a one-man show, so bear with me. Okay, guys, so I got the axle out. It wasn't too bad. Like I did, push it and have this steered to the left, and while you're pulling this, try to swing it out this way. This little shank will, or shaft or whatever you want to call it, will kind of get stuck, but you can still maneuver it. You just gotta work with it a little bit, but it's really not that bad. As you can see, the boot on this one is ripped, so this axle is junk anyways. Yeah, and then the intermediate shaft bolts, there should be 3 down here. I don't know if that actually picked it up or not, but it should be 3 14 millimeter bolts. So I'm gonna pull both the intermediate shaft and the CV axle on the passenger side out together, make it easier on me. And yeah, we'll go from there. All right, guys, so here's a look at what I was talking about. We've got 1, 2, and then that top one right there, 3. Pretty much you can just use 3-inch extension, and it should be to 14 if you can get it, and that should work for all of them. Maybe run a bigger extension on the top one, we'll find out. And you just take your flathead and probably between here, just bump it, it should pop right out. They're pretty easy. All right, guys, I got those bolts out. It was just super tight. I'm gonna show you how easy it is to get this out. So this is just a regular flathead screwdriver. And just pry. You can see it's already moving. There we go. As you can see, it's loose, just like that. And now you can just slide that out. Make sure you try to pull it out as straight as possible outside, and you should be pretty good. All right, guys, so I kind of blinked out. I stopped recording. I kind of forgot. Basically, I undid the power steering line here. Disconnected the throttle cable. Use a 12 millimeter for these nuts. Then they'll loop all the way around these holders. Just keep it in place. There'll be one here. Damn, I lost the bracket. It looks like that. It holds it with a 10 mil. So I just flopped that one out the way. And then this is your cruise control cable. So I just slapped it on the other side. It's pretty much ready to pull, considering that motor mount's gone, that motor mount's gone. These are 17 millimeter bolts, so I'm just going to loosen all three. I already did actually loosen all three. I will get the engine hoist up here, get it chained and ready to go. This one ended up being a bolt on the top. I did not realize that until a couple minutes ago. I got the heater hose out the way and I was like, hey, let me try it this way. So I think the other side is just a welded nut, because I was trying to tighten it and it wasn't budging. So yeah, as far as these other ones, I do need to get them, but I'm going to wait until I get the engine hoist to support the weight of the engine and the transmission, so it's safe for me to get down there and go ahead and remove all those bolts, because I don't want the engine to just tilt down even more and then potentially crush me and then I'm dead. So yeah. All right guys, I got my trusty old ass engine hoist. So I went ahead and hooked it on the transmission right here. Got this with a bolt and a nut and a washer to kind of keep it secure. Initially I was using this just to prime it, just to see if it'll work, and it shot off as I expected. And then I've got this one bolted down where the motor mount nut was. Hopefully that's tight enough. I mean, it's not moving, it's pretty strong. I tried to doing this one initially, but unfortunately I couldn't get the nut to turn. So this one conveniently worked out. And since that's connected to the motor mount still, or connected to the engine, sorry, it should still hold. This was the rubber piece that connects. It goes there, but it should work. So yeah, we got the power steering lines, hoses disconnected, charge harness is gone, engine harness is coming out. Remember, I pulled it off, as you can see. So this should be pretty straightforward. Also forgot to mention to disconnect the fuel line. I ended up doing it right here where the rail is. So these green tabs, you just squeeze on these ears and it will slide off. It goes into this one. Fairly straightforward. You just gotta kind of work with it. But it should be pretty much ready to go after I get these loosened, and then the one on the bottom. Yeah, I'll just keep updating as I go. I don't have nobody to record for me, unfortunately, so I'll try to do my best as I can. All right guys, I got those bolts taken out. I used a half inch impact, as well as just a ratcheting 3/8 drive electric wrench. Shout out Aoben from China. I got these on Amazon for pretty cheap and they actually work pretty good.
I mean, having that front end out makes it easy.
Oh yeah, for sure.